Please stand for the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, Trish.
Mrs. Brew? Miss Langless?
Here.
Mr. Meneghini?
Here.
Mr. Marraro?
Yep, here.
Mrs. Steigerwald?
Here.
Do I have a motion to excuse Mayor Brew?
I make a motion to excuse Councilperson Brew, or Mayor Brew.
Support.
Miss Langless?
Yes.
Mr. Meneghini?
Yes.
Mr. Marraro?
Yes.
Mrs. Steigerwald?
Yes.
Approval of the agenda. Do I have a motion? Any questions from last week? Any concerns? Otherwise, I need a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda from last week.
Support?
Trish?
Mr. Meneghini?
Yes.
Mr. Marraro?
Yes.
Mrs. Steigerwald?
Yes.
Miss Langless?
Yes.
Approval of the minutes, regular meeting of January 7th, 2026. Do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes of the regular meeting of January 7th, 2026.
I support?
Mr. Marraro?
Yes.
Mrs. Steigerwald?
Yes.
Miss Langless?
Yes.
Mr. Meneghini?
Yes.
Approval of manifest 2026-02 in the amount of $1,091,614.32. Sarah, do you have any questions?
I do not.
Ricky?
I do have one question on page 4 for the, it's under wastewater fund. There is a charge for $7,020.
For a hover something?
Hover screen repair.
Dan, anything, you know anything about that?
Sorry, if I can hear you.
Yeah. Hover
Kind of breaking up.
Hover screen repair under wastewater for over $7,000.
Yep, that's, I think that's their screen that they have to get cleaned out every once in a while. I need more information on that.
Yeah, that catches stuff coming back into the water plant. Yeah.
Okay,
Okay, that's good, thanks.
thank you. That's it.
That's it, Rick?
Just why so big this month?
Yeah. Dan, why so big this month?
We had the Curry Road.
Oh,
There
Curry
it
Road
is.
hit, yeah.
So there's 451,000 in water, so that's, it would be half.
Okay, thanks. Christina, go ahead.
Also, if you turn to the last page, the 701, are all the tax disbursements this time of year that I'm dispersing.
Oh, sorry, more tax payments?
Yeah,
Yeah.
what we collect and then they go out to
Correct,
the
yeah.
units.
Okay, good.
82,000.
Any other questions? If not, do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve manifest 2026-02 in the amount of $1,091,614.32.
Is support?
Miss Steigerwald?
Yes.
Miss Langless?
Yes.
Mr. Meneghini?
Yes.
Mr. Marraro?
Yes. Answers to previous manifest questions. It looks like we have none. Dan, I don't think we had any.
Correct.
Okay. Public comment, any item of interest. Anyone in attendance wishing to address council on any item of interest shall do so at the podium. State your name and address for the record. Comments shall be limited to 3 minutes per person. We have none. Public comments, agenda items. Once again, anyone in attendance wishing to address the council on agenda items shall do so at the podium. State your name and address for the record. Comments shall be limited to 3 minutes. And we have none of those either. Actionable items. Item 1, Curry Road financing. Go ahead, Dan, we'll try to listen to you.
Yep, so this is, not much is different from the last couple of times we discussed it. Like, as you see on the manifest, we do have that bill, which may come in about 50,000 less. So again, we're talking about our different options to finance this, one being a bond. Issuing a bond has a cost of $20,000, and they have variable interest rates between 5.7 and 14.7 years. That was based on a $600,000 issuance, which obviously we know it's much less than that now. Then our other option is borrowing internally in the general fund and the water fund. With the right now, as we just said last time, we're looking at recommending $100,000 coming from the water fund, which would be likely taking out of RR&I, which they have 160 in there.
Nice.
And then financing the 350 from the general fund, and again, the most common rate for interdepartmental is about that 1.5%. We said for 7 years that sets the water fund up to have a an easier repayment plan, but if things go well, it's our own term loan, we can repay it as quickly or as quickly as we want to.
7's too long for me.
What's that?
7's too long for me.
Yeah, that was just to make it so it, gives lower payments, but we can always escalate that whenever whenever there's additional funds in the water fund, we can do that. We're not held to that 7 years. We're really there to allow us to adjust, year to year, depending on how that fund is doing.
Comments, anybody? Questions?
I just wanted to hear from the treasurer, how do you feel about that with our books?
I think it's a good plan.
Okay.
Yeah. The annual payment of $53,000, because we're doing the lead line replacement, our cash flows are up and down in the water. We depend on the state to reimburse us, and sometimes there's a lag and we're paying some bigger bills, which makes the cash, in the long run, it's about the same, but it makes it a little more volatile. So having the $53,000 payment per year, I felt more comfortable with it at that rate, or at the 7 year.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, I'm not crazy about it. I mean, we're already taking 250 grand out of investments to foot the bill on this project at a 1.5% interest rate, and then you want to stretch it over 7 years on a repay. I think when we talked last time, I like the fact that the water fund is kicking 100 grand in, that's great, but I don't know that the 7 year is something I'm overly crazy on. I don't know how the rest of the council member feel.
I think it's a good idea. I think, talking about what we're losing or what we're potentially missing out on versus the security of the repayment rate, the security of being in full control. If we want to advance payments and pay it off in a shorter time, that's fully within our control.
Yep, it is.
Balancing that with, I don't know all the rules and regs about taking that money and investing it and how quick we have access to that without penalty. I think, all things being considered, I like this proposal.
Okay.
I like this proposal as well. Christina, Dan, is this something we would then just every year during budget look at as far as what we would pay that year?
I can guarantee you we're going to, Ricky,
That's
because you know what's
where
going to
it would
happen?
come up, and
It'll
that's where
never
we-
get paid back quicker if we don't push it.
Right, but
Because
that's
Brock's
where
not
it
gonna,
shows up.
Brock's not gonna want to say, let's throw an extra 50 grand in it.
No, that's just asking.
Yeah, I think if anything, even at the end, coming close to the end of each fiscal year, depending on how that budget looks, we can even add more to that principal before the second fiscal year. But it would be something that would be discussed each budget.
Okay, that sounds, I'm good with that plan. Yeah.
I would also suggest, the plan would be for the first payment to be made 1 year from now. There's no reason we can't revisit it right after the audit is completed or right after the end of the fiscal year and make a payment on it within the first year
Earlier.
as well.
Any other questions? Do I have a motion?
I make a motion to approve the presented loan agreement for the general fund to the water department for $351,400, I never do that right, $351,425 with a term of 7 years at 1.5% to cover the cost of Curry Road Water Main Project.
Support.
Ms. Langless?
Yes.
Mr. Menegini?
Yes.
Mr. Mararo?
No.
Mrs. Steigerwald?
Yes.
Moving on, item 2. Recycling grant and curbside recycling mandate. Mr. Stoltman.
So this is again back talking about the state law of having 90% of offered curbside recycling. So where we left that was, do we go in on a grant with Iron Mountain Kingsford for the cost of the carts to try to reduce the rate, monthly rate for residents? That grant would only likely reduce the monthly cost by about $1, 90 cents to $1 a month. It would cost the city about $14,000-15,000 for a total of $70,000 investment in those carts. The other part of that is the city, do we join with Iron Mountain Kingsford in the RFP to seek out those recycling services, again, trying to get the lowest rate. I certainly think we should go with the other two in the RFP matter, just as a state mandated service to get the lowest rate. The grant, again, it's $1 or so less a month. We could go for the grant. We could have the rates as such where it pays for those carts, and after the first year, then we reduce the rates. That is also an option. But I don't think it's not a huge change either way.
No, except that's $14,000 extra dollars out of the city's pocket. If we go with the carts that GFL's already saying they will provide. So that's kind of where this thing loses me. Plus, there's no teeth behind this mandate, as we talked about before. I just think we got the cart way ahead of the horse here, but.
I'm so opposed with the recycling because with 2,800 people in our city, normally we wouldn't be part of this regulation at all, except that the census puts us into an urban area. And urban areas were really, as far as the census goes, were meant as shopping, metropolitan shopping areas, not something to government, the government to use.
Thank you, Ricky. Dan, just to refresh our memory, how many people in Norway actually signed up that said they wanted this?
We were less than 100.
Yeah. Out of your 2,800.
Yeah.
Okay.
So there's about 12 or so hundred accounts that would have recycling population.
Gotcha. And there was 100, so maybe 8%, 7-8% of the people said yeah to it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I would like to add as well that it was not advertised well. I mean, I was not aware that there was an option to even sign up for that, so I have.
How do we send it out then?
I'm sorry, say it again, Joe?
How do we send out notification as to, do you want to sign up for future recycling? Would you be interested in future recycling, curbside recycling? That go in the newsletter in the city bill?
Yeah, it was a newsletter.
It was in the newsletter, but it didn't explain that we needed a certain amount of people to sign up for it to get it.
To sign up and
Do you think more people would have signed up if we would have said that?
I would have.
Okay.
Jeff,
It's Sarah.
Sorry.
Sarah and I are going back and forth right now.
Sarah was speaking, Dan, while you were, so. we got
Sorry about
lost
that.
there.
Yep.
So, yeah,
It needed here.
Sarah thinks that we could have did a better job communicating out to the public about, how many, I guess, we needed to sign up to, to maybe bring the service on board. That's all she was commenting
Yeah,
on.
I certainly think, there could have been a heavier campaign. I don't think it would have gotten us to where we needed. I mean, Kingsford, they did do more. We were also in the paper with Kingsford on this as well, but even then, with even having some more social media posts in out there, they only got, again, 200. But yeah, there could have been a better push.
Yeah, I don't think even if you went door to door, I don't think
No.
you would have gotten 20% of the households to say
And Kingsford
yes.
population is twice the size of us, so they got
Yeah.
basically the same response.
I meant between
More than-
both of us.
Yeah. So, go ahead, Rick, yeah.
The biggest, for me, we better do this, is what does it close the door on? The teeth, if you will, right? I mean, we've done well and probably can do even better with receiving grants from the state of Michigan for a variety of projects over the last, Lord knows how many years. My worst case scenario fear is gonna be, this is gonna be nope, you're not eligible for anything that may happen in the future. I don't know if I'm Chicken Little, sky is falling, and we can't see into the future, but
Yeah.
that's the fear.
I think this grant was about the recycling containers, right? So, I think a lot of folks are gonna not go for this grant because you're gonna have, like we had, the provider of the recycling service say, hey, we can do it both ways. If you supply the containers, it's this much. If we supply the containers, it's that much. And for 90 cents to $1 a month, you know, to spend 80 grand on containers, I don't know how many communities are gonna really opt in for that. I think they probably would just take the full turnkey solution, in my opinion. You know,
Could.
Do we know what Kingsford, Iron Mountain, those other places are doing now? Are they going for this?
I believe so.
Yeah.
Well, they're going for the grant. I don't know if they're going for the service.
So they're going for the grant. So why wouldn't we join them and not just to make sure that we could,
Because I don't want to spend $80,000 on recycling containers that we might never use.
how much was it?
It's going to be 70 to 80 grand.
Out of our pocket, from this,
14 out of our
for just
pocket.
Norway?
14
Yeah.
out of our pocket.
14.
We have to match that with $14,000. So we have to, you know, why would we spend $14,000 if we're not going to implement the service? Because that's what this is saying. If we get the grant, we have to move forward. Because then, Rico, your play comes in. If we say no, then that's where the problem's going to come.
Or if we don't move
Well, I don't know
forward.
about that. I mean, there's a lot of people that go for every grant that's out there. I don't think that's the problem. I think if you go for it, you get it, and you say no to it, right then, that's going to be the bigger problem.
Yeah, I mean, even if we decided not to join in the grant, you know, we should still join in with the RFP for the services if we were going to comply with the state
Okay.
law. So the service would likely be provided to everyone, regardless whether they want to use the service or not. You know, there's kind of a two-part process here. It should be implemented regardless of the curbside with the RFP is whether or not we want to do the grant.
So, look, just to get that straight, you're saying that you want us to approve recycling in Norway, even if we don't go for the grant tonight? Okay, no.
Yeah, so we could not join the grant, but we could join Iron Mountain Kingsford in the RFP for recycling services, which I believe will get at least GFL to submit for that. And that would be to mandate curbside recycling to meet the state law.
The toothless state law that doesn't go into effect till 2028?
No, it went into effect January 1st, 26.
Ricky? 2028 for our size?
No, it has to do with, if you look at at number 2, has to do with that it's at least 90%, it's the fact that we're part of an urban area, so by January 1st, we need to have the recycling of this year.
Of 2026?
Yeah, there's this compound crazy sentence, and on the other half of it is for those that are not in an urban area, but are towns of greater than 5,000,
5,000.
then they get, they have, theirs is 2028.
28, okay.
So,
Any more questions, comments? Do I have a motion?
Well, so thinking out loud. So we apply for this grant, we get these garbage cans, we get how many of them, Lord knows how many.
Probably
There.
14, what is it, 12, 13, 1,400, right?
We get them.
Yeah, this was, I figured 1,300, so a little over the number of households for
Yeah.
reserves.
Do we ever see as a municipality having a uniform garbage can for even our local garbage? So I'm saying is worst case scenario, we get this and it sucks and no one's using them, can we repurpose these cans as our regular?
It's a great question. My guess would be no, because it's a recycling grant. Just my guess. And it's mandated by the state back again. You know, they're trying to get recycling pushed out.
And I'm sure it'll be a different color and,
And which they are.
Yeah, so-
They're usually blue. put the big thing on the side.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I think that's the way of the future when it comes to garbage collection is, less people, more automation. And I see a lot of, in larger places, they have.
They call it dual stream, yeah.
Yeah, but they all have those uniform receptacles.
Yep.
Which,
Especially in your automated stuff, correct? Mhm.
so that's just what I'm,
Understood, totally.
I'm trying to get to yes.
I'm already
Because
there.
of my fear,
Right.
right?
Right.
And,
Well, just to
yeah.
make sure I'm understanding.
Law and the lawyer, what do we got here?
Well, this law is convoluted and reads interestingly. Still not sure how we're an urban area, for that matter. But anyway, if you guys go for this grant, you are representing that it's mandatory.
Mm-hmm.
And if you guys later on say it's not mandatory, and I even, the devil's in the details, you're probably gonna have to pay back the grant or have some
Okay.
consequence as well. Maybe just one other thought process.
And that will give the heartburn to the state.
Yeah.
Point earlier.
So, it's kind of if you're going to make it mandatory, you might as well apply for the grant, but then, as Pro Tem Mayor Marrero says, well, they're willing to provide, the service is willing to provide it
Why would we spend 15,
for charge.
I don't see spending 15 grand, because we still have to match the $15,000.
And it would be generally it would cost, the city would be out of the receptacle business and it would cost the consumer an extra $1.
90
Is
cents to a
that- Is that
dollar.
how I read that?
Correct.
So for us not getting involved with it, as far as the grant, we're gonna pass upon an extra $1, and that goes on to everyone, whether you're using recycling or not.
Correct.
It's $1 and we all can do the math and that's $12 a year. I don't wanna, it might not be worth the headache.
Well, are we certain that we can even get $1 per month less on the RFP that is going to follow after the grant?
No, not necessarily.
Could.
That's our, and, Higher Mountain, they were doing most of the work on the RFP, but I don't believe it's 100% certain, but even whatever rate they give us, even if it's the same whether we choose the card or not, if we're in the grant, we can still reduce it by $1, but again, it is just $1. It's probably simpler and cleaner just to go in on the RFP for the services, and omit the grant. It's probably easier that way, generally speaking.
Anybody else?
Wait a minute, I'm confused. So without the grant, we can still implement mandatory recycling?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And it would just cost people $1
Little
more
bit.
a month?
And the city
Ish.
won't.
Am I correct?
Yeah, don't
90
quote them on the dollar,
Right,
but
90
But
cents to
it's gonna be
dollars.
around
It-
that amount,
it's not gonna be
without the
double.
grant?
Yeah.
And then we don't owe them the 14,000, or the 15,000 they're
15,000,
talking
yeah, we
about?
don't have
Well,
to-
why aren't we doing that?
I think that's what we're talking about.
That's what I-
Okay, so is there a way to change this and vote it in so that it's mandatory, but we're not going for the grant then?
How do you want this? Greg?
I think that's exactly how applying for the joint, okay, yeah, if we
Take
can
that
just
part
remove
out. That gives us a
How do you want
chance
this
maybe
motion?
to
If
keep
they don't
pushing
want
at the
it- if they
state
don't want it
level.
all.
Strike the first sentence.
Straight to,
strike the first,
First half.
just start with participate in the joint.
Approve participation in the joint
Yeah.
RFP with the city of Kingsford State Martin for mandatory curbside recycling services.
I can make that motion.
You can make it.
If
As
there's
well
no.
as-
any other, Sarah,
then-
anything else? Ricky?
We're getting rid of the as well as participate in the joint
Nope,
No,
that's what we're
we're
keeping.
keeping
We're
that
getting
part.
rid of the first part.
We're getting rid of the obtain
Grant.
the
recycling
grant, okay,
parts.
so we're not applying jointly for the grant
Yeah, but we will be jointly for the service.
to obtain the recycling carts, but, okay, but we will be participating in the RFP for mandatory curbside recycling services, and then they will provide those, trash cans without cost, but it'll just be $1 extra per person
It'll be
Correct.
built
for people
into
that
their
are.
monthly.
The original RFQ that Iron Mountain went out to get, we had one responder, GFL, and they basically gave a price for the 3 communities.
Yep.
I think it was, what, 1,000, minimum of 1,000, right, Dan?
Yeah, it was us and Kingsford only. It was
Okay.
a minimum of 1,000 customers.
And they gave us a price with a cart, with a recycling cart included.
And that was like $750, and we put out there $850. We added $1 for administrative, for just personnel costs, administrative
How much are they estimating it's gonna cost each person for the recycling every month in general?
Right now,
Like, at this
$8.50.
point? So $8.50 a month would be what
On
we
top of what they're paying for
with the
garbage.
dollar or not with the dollar?
That's with 1,000 people.
Yeah,
We
so
don't-
In all three communities.
right now, and again, these numbers are, we're playing loose with numbers, okay, so nothing's locked in.
Right, no, I'm getting
Okay,
it.
we don't have
I'm just
any
gonna try to get
official
an
bid.
estimate in my
Right.
brain as to what people are gonna be.
Right now, Dan's estimating that it was about $7.50 a customer, minimum of 1,000 customers in the communities. And then Dan, we're adding $1 on that for administrative.
Correct, and this would be mandatory, so they're getting a lot more customers, so we're hoping that rate would come down.
It won't. It won't.
Will they be able to do an RFP if one of the towns is not providing bins? Will we be able to still lump into the same RFP?
They answered it with bins. So all that would happen is that if Iron Mountain decides to buy their own bins, it's going to come down with Dan figures of somewhere 90 cents to $1.
No, all I'm saying is if it's an RFP that is being submitted for all three towns together, but Kingsford and Iron Mountain are going for the grant, so they're a little different in their RFP because they're going to hopefully be providing bins.
Maybe, yeah.
They just would have to write that in.
They answered it both, they can answer the RFP both ways.
Yeah, we can still join the other two, even if one of us are not going to, get our own cards. If there's a price difference, then there's a price difference for Norway.
So we're guaranteed that they will provide the containers,
Just gonna cost a little bit more.
and we don't, the citizens don't have to like go buy them or put some money down on them or something like that to be able to use them. GFL will just give them to
You
people.
don't have to buy them, store them.
Also
You just-
cleaner, if somebody damages there, what you do to replace it and stuff like that, that would be under the contract with the recycling company.
I mean, I'm all for recycling. It is a really easy way to recycle. It's very nice. My daughter does it in Oshkosh and I love it. You know what I mean? It's wonderful.
Well, we have a recycling center and GFL is not that far away.
No, I get that.
So-
I get that. It just
And
makes it
recycle for
easier for people.
Right,
You know, I
yeah.
mean, it is a pain in the butt to separate all that stuff in your house and
It's,
deal with
it's,
all
that.
it's not the thing about recycling, it's this law and how it's written.
I get it.
Anything else, gang?
I'll make a motion, if you're entertaining one.
I'm entertaining a motion.
Okay, I'd like to make a motion that we participate in the joint RFP with the City of Kingsford and City of Iron Mountain for mandatory curbside recycling services to comply with MLC Michigan case law.
Michigan, it's just MCL.
Oh, I'm sorry, MCL, 324.11502.
I'll second that.
Mr. Menegini?
Yes.
Mr. Mararo?
No.
Mrs. Steigerwald?
Yes.
Miss Langless?
Yes.
Moving on. Update cross-connection control plan, Mr. Stoltman.
So the next two items is about the cross-connection program. We entered into a contract with Hydrocorp to help us, to assist us in the beginnings of this program. Part of that was their review and update of our cross-connection control plan. It's fairly similar to the one we currently have, but to try to show the differences between the two, we came up with a document that kind of discusses the key differences. And really, when it comes to it, it's just theirs is cleaner, more professional. It's ready to go. The implementation is better. The language is stronger. It complies more with Eagle. So it's not a giant difference between what we had. It's more polished and updated essentially.
No major changes?
No, like if you look at the summary, you know, it's, you know, the current one is more like a draft, theirs is more finalized. Compliance, clarity, ours is moderate, theirs is high, the reporting is mandatory, electronic reporting is mandatory, enforcement is stronger, and it aligns more with the EGLE requirements. So it's not like it's changing how we do this. It doesn't really change the program per se. It just
It does change the penalties?
Nope. We actually found the penalties we already had. That's what you'll see that in the next item. There was an issue with, sounds like the ordinance somehow never made it into the code book when it was adopted in 16, but already laid out the fee structure.
Fee structure.
Can you ask Dan if there's any, change to
The
the
cross-connected
cost?
control plan is more of how we implement it and what it is. The ordinance is more of the document that talks about the penalty and the right of entry, and that's on the next item to review as well.
Hang on one second, Dan. Rico has a question. Go ahead, Rico.
You won't be able to hear me.
Yeah.
Just ask him if there's any change to the cost or the billing for the service.
Yeah, any change to the cost of the billing of the service?
No, so kind of jump ahead a little bit.
They just want to do it the way they want to do it.
The ordinance
it's cleaner,
that we
it's-
had in 2016 had a penalty that was not less than 100 and not more than 500, and we did not change that.
Okay.
Okay.
Enforcement, nothing changed with that either? Written letters, whatever, get it fixed in X amount of days, or else?
Yeah, there's no different than written letters. You know, if you deny whatever else entry to look at it, it's assumed that, you know, there's a cross-connection issue and there's, you know, monetary enforcement. But nothing is really, there's not a whole lot in the plan or the ordinance. You can see even in the ordinance, next one I have the strike and bold, you can see everything has changed. And it's not much.
Did you go through this?
Yes.
And,
If I recall, back in 16, this was one of the mandated, implemented processes after the Flint water crisis. And so, looking at this and looking at the plan itself, if I remember correctly, back when Eagle came out with kind of a proposal, here's how you should implement this. The plan is what's being discussed first, and the changes are, it's almost kind of like an update. The nuance, this is 9 years later.
Yeah.
So it goes through and just updates some of the language, updates some of the versions, references with more, as Dan referenced, cleaner language. The ordinance itself is really some nominal changes as noted within, as bolded, just some stronger language, if you will, cuts out some of the extra language, and just goes straight to the meat and potatoes of things. Doesn't really change substantively anything. Things have changed. It used to be Michigan Department of Environmental Quality, now it's Michigan Department of Environmental, Great Lakes and Energy. So it updates the department name, references the administrative code instead of just saying pursuant to the administrative code, it references the actual full language of what it is. Section 5 in the ordinance, probably is the only real thing that was changed in a more substantive way. It struck out most of that section and restated it, but it just restated it in a different way. It says the same thing, that all backflow prevention devices shall be tested by a Michigan licensed plumber pursuant to the administrative code requirements. And it references that language, and that subsequent testing shall be done on an annual basis and or other times set by the DEQ, if you will, Eagle. So it kind of says the exact same thing, it just says it a different way, but similar language, same language, in essence, just restated differently.
so we're basically saying high hazard annual, other non-residential, 1 to 5 based on risk, and residential is still 1 every 10 years. Rico, to answer your question as far as testing goes. So nothing's changed there. And again, my biggest concern was reporting and punishment, right? Or what, punishment's a bad word, but compliance, lack of compliance, as long as we're not getting, over our skis on some of that stuff.
No, it's definitely, I think we talked about a couple, when you guys started talking about using this group a while back. I mean, it's invasive, right? It's going to people's homes and businesses to check water supply and backflows, preventers. But then it's one of those situations where you look at it's our water supply and it needs to be safe. And it's kind of like, just looking at the greater good, that we need to have clean water and we need to make sure it's not being polluted and our system is safe, and the citizens deserve that. So this is putting meat and potatoes and some additional teeth, or clarified teeth, if you will, into it.
Hell, with opinions like that, you should run for office, Grant.
Yeah, it doesn't seem to work that well.
All right. Some of us are undefeated, All right. Anyway, any other comments, questions?
No?
Have a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve the cross-connection control plan version 2.0 as presented.
Support.
Mr. Mararo?
Yes.
Mrs. Steigerwald?
Yes?
Ms.
That was
Langless?
one.
Yes.
Mr. Menegini?
Yes.
It's because. Item 4, ordinance 457, amending ordinance 419, cross connection. Dan?
So this is what we just spoke about, ordinance 419. We already had on the book in 2016. This is just the update as Mr. Carlson was going through. So not much change to that, just restating some things, changing, the correct term, what eagle is called. It's not a lot.
Oh, that's what you're looking at.
Fines are the same as what they were in 2016. So that process is all the same.
Yep. Grant, that's what Grant just went over with us.
Yep.
Okay.
Second part of it.
Yeah. All right, any questions? Do I have a motion?
I make a motion to approve ordinance 457 as presented, an amendment to ordinance 419 of the City of Norway Code of Ordinances Cross Connection Control Program.
Second.
Mrs. Steigerwald?
Yes?
Ms. Langless?
Yes.
Mr. Menegini?
Yes.
Mr. Mararo?
Yes. Item 5, U.S. Geological Survey Annual Joint Funding Agreement. Stream gauging, Mr. Stoltman.
This is probably one of your favorites, Jeff.
I know, I could have voted no on every one of these tonight, by the way, but
I was gonna jump in on this.
So this is our annual agreement with the U.S. Geological Survey
this is your father's favorite.
I know.
for stream gauging of the sturgeon and the Menominee River as part of our FERC licensing at the Hydro Dam. Prices hasn't changed. It's $31,500. We do pick up the lion's share of that at $27,500, which comes out of the Hydro Fund.
Questions, comments? Mr. Menegini?
No comments.
Oof. Ricky?
No, gotta keep the electricity going.
Sarah?
I'm good.
All right, I got some comments, as I do every year when this comes up. Yeah, this is Big Brother at its best, right? So we're gonna have to make sure that the minnows and the tadpoles are okay as they swim past our dam at a tune of $27,500 for our taxpayers. Thank you very much, FERC. Do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve stream gauging joint funding agreement between the City of Norway and the U.S. Geological Survey as presented.
Support.
Ms. Langless?
Yes.
Mr. Menegini?
Yes.
Mr. Mararo?
Yeah.
Mrs. Steigerwald?
Yes.
Budget workshop and adoption schedule. Mr. Stoltman.
So it's the same thing we've done the last few years, is doing a workshop weekly for our budget. I put together just a mock-up Monday workshops like we did the previous year. So, as council would like to do the Mondays again, this is a schedule that would look like on Mondays. It's probably easiest to pick the same day each week opposed to variations of the week, just from a standpoint of scheduling everybody. Some of these may not be needed if you have to miss, it's not a huge deal, but this at least gets us set up for a weekly meetup to discuss funds as we go along.
Yeah,
Is this for 5 o'clock? Can you make
Like we did
that?
last year.
Good question,
that's
Ricky.
fine. It's just kind of up to you guys.
can you make it back by
I
5,
think
for
it's
5?
the same day.
Mondays at 5 is what we're talking about, and you want to go 5 in March and 4 in April, so every week.
As
For-
needed.
As needed, yeah, that's what we had last year.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah, and that's not, we may not utilize all of them. It's just in there to try to get that on our radar, so we kind of get in that routine. But last year, we didn't use all the workshops, whether timing or a fund wasn't prepared in time, but it's good to have it on the books. And then we have a goal, we know what we're working for each week.
Agreed. Questions?
One other question, I know we usually do roads first so that we can get bids out. Is March 2nd early enough that we can get the bids out and get some work done?
Yeah, I think not last year, but the year before, I think we got out in March or April, so, major and local roads will likely be one of the first we discussed. And I'll talk to our engineers on that as well to verify, but that will certainly be something we want to touch on early, so we can get those bids out and get that work in the summer or fall.
No, good point, Ricky, good question. By the way, I'm just wondering too, April, you get a little bit nicer weather. February, do we want to start in February now, or is that not giving you enough time to start getting things ready?
I don't think he's here.
As far as the workshop starts, February?
Yeah,
Well, February is kind of the time that staff starts to get these things pulled together. The idea of each workshop is that we're presenting a budget of some sort to discuss. So February is when we're going to be doing our work to prepare for these.
okay, good enough.
workshops.
Yep, good enough. Any other questions?
No?
You have a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the 2026, 2027 budget workshop schedule as presented, as needed at 5 PM on Mondays, it looks like, right? Or as council determines.
Support?
Mr. Menegini?
Yes.
Mr. Mararo?
Yes.
Mrs. Steigerwald?
Yes?
Miss Langless?
Yes.
Item 7, Planning Commission Member Resignation, Leonard Beadla. Mr. Stoltman.
So this is just for council to accept Mr. Beadle's resignation from Planning Commission. He's been on there for many, many, many years. Things change and he doesn't have the time. So Planning Commission did recommend council accept his resignation and thank him for his service to the Planning Commission and the city for all those years. And we have advertised some openings in committees, and likely in the next council meeting or Planning Commission meeting, we will start discussing candidates to fill that spot.
So right now, we have Ricky as our council rep,
Correct.
and we have one open seat. That's all. That's good. That's pretty good for planning.
And Leonard was the CBA, the Planning Commission represented by the CBA, so that will also have to be one recommendation from the Planning Commission to council for that as
Yeah.
well.
Talk to Ray about that one.
He's on there.
He's on ZBA already?
Oh, sorry, no.
Yeah,
He's
right.
on this one.
Okay, do you want us to motion this then? Is that what we're supposed to just motion
Yeah,
to approve it?
Just to accept Leonard Beadle's resignation from the Planning Commission.
Okay. Do I have a motion?
I make a motion to approve Leonard Beadle's resignation from the Planning Commission and advertise the open seat expiring December 2027.
Second?
Mr. Mararo?
Yes.
Mrs. Steigerwald?
Yes?
Miss Langless?
Yes.
Mr. Menegini?
Yes.
And I'd like to thank Lenny for his dedication and time served on that committee. Discussion items, none. Mayor and council comments. Sarah?
Good. Thank you. Thank you,
Ricky?
everyone.
I also wanted to thank Leonard Beadle's work on the Planning Commission. I understand it was for 15 years, and I think that's pretty amazing.
I'd like to thank Mr. Carlson for the hearty chuckle that I received with his self-deprecating humor. How many times were you on the ballot? Twice?
Well, Kiwanis, I was successful.
Okay.
In the presidency, so.
I just want to let you, I voted for you 4 times, both times you were on the ballot. So I did my part.
I'd like to just say, on the no votes tonight, I'm not a big fan of big government mandates, as everybody knows by now that's watched these things for the last 6+ years. I do understand that they are mandates, but I do like to make my own little peaceful protest, so that's where the no votes come from. I am not in agreement with recycling. I think, and unfortunately, I think a lot of the folks out there aren't either, so, but it is what it is. That's it for me, Mr. Carlson.
Along those lines, I'll try to keep it very short. I wasn't planning on saying anything, but you triggered my comment. I was
Joy.
I was talking to a citizen that had some concerns about the recycling, and as always, I get to say, hey, I'm just the attorney. I'm not elected to serve on this council, but I get to help the people that are elected. One of the things that I did see, and this is for the community, for the business owners, the language of the language of the statute references single-family dwellings, so it's not the businesses as well. When I spoke to Mr. Stoltman to try to clarify that, and Dan, jump in if I'm wrong, I don't think that businesses will be required to take on recycling as well for the businesses. This is for residential dwellings, so just as a point of clarification.
Yeah, that is the way I read it as well.
Okay. It was brought up to me by a citizen in conversation.
Yeah.
And I said, good question.
It is a good question.
So I just wanted to make sure that was out there, that I saw the same thing when you made that comment, Mr. Morrow. That's all I have, thank you.
And again, folks, even though it passed, you're gonna pay for it, but you don't have to do it. I mean, it's true. There's no teeth in the thing that way. And if you are already doing it, well, guess what? It's gonna make your life probably easier because you can just do it curbside instead of having to haul it, down to our facility here. So that way you will pay a little bit, but at least it'll be more convenient for you and easier on you. Trish, Christina. Okay, and if that's it. Motion to adjourn?
Make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Meeting adjourned.